Welcome to Wonderland. It's Eri here, and today I am going to be discussing my novel, basically giving some news and updates on my novel and just discussing what I'm doing. Back in January, after New Year's, I told my New Year's resolutions, and one of them is to have my novel complete by the end of the year. My goal is to have it finished by the end of November because November is National Novel Writing Month, and of course, I'm going to be working on it, probably putting the finishing touches on it and everything all month through November. But up until then, I am working on my novel, writing scenes, writing chapters, even though they're kind of out of order. Because I don't know why, I'm just writing out of order for some odd reason. They're coming to me out of order. But trust me, I'm fine. I am working on it, and I just basically want to talk about writing here in this video. I am a writer. I want to be a playwright and or a screenwriter. Yes, I do get ideas for TV shows, movies, plays. Excuse me while my nose is dying from the inside out. But I don't really develop those ideas so much, mainly because I'm so focused on this novel. I will write the idea down, probably lose it somewhere in my desk, but or in my notebook or on my phone somewhere. But I'm mainly focused on this novel. I did start off kind of small when it came to writing. My first story I ever wrote was in 6th grade, and I wrote about running away from home, like 4 girls who ran away from home, and it was a very short story. I don't have it anymore. It's probably back in my closet, back in my house. I don't know. I really don't know, but it was a really cute story for a 6th grader. I was a Wattpad writer. I did have a Wattpad account in high school from 9th grade to 11th grade. It's still open. I did not delete the account or any of the stories on the account. I still remember the password, and I still have the notes for the stories, but I probably will never ever finish any of those stories at all. So if you go and check my Wattpad out, if you want to, I will put my username down below. You could just Google me, but if you want to read them, just keep in mind they're not finished, and they probably will never get finished. And I wrote them in high school. One story in particular I tried to get published back when I was in high school, but now that I look back, I'm kind of glad I didn't get it published. It wasn't my best. I mean, it was my best at the time, but it wasn't my best. I have grown as a writer as far as writing, as far as short stories and stuff like that. My novel, I had been working on it since January. Well, I had the idea of it back last year in 2016. I tried to work on it in November, but it changed a lot. And then eventually I gave up on it. And then I had a similar idea, but it was haunting me basically all through Christmas break and all through the first half of January. And I decided to finally work on it, like develop notes, characters, plot line, everything. My problem is when I talk about a story I'm working on too much or focusing on it way too much. I mean, stay focused on it, duh, but if I'm focused on it way too much and I start talking about it, especially to a lot of people, and put it out there, like put more than maybe a couple chapters out there for people to read, I eventually lose interest in it. I don't know why. It just happens sometimes. It's happened a couple of times for a couple of stories of mine. But this book, I am really, really passionate about it. I really, really want it published. I have a plan set in place to find a literary agent in the publishing company I want it to be published with. Fingers crossed. But if that doesn't work out, I have a backup plan. Other backup agents, other backup publishing companies. And if those don't work out, I'm probably going to publish the book myself. Self-publish it. It took me about 2 months to come up with a name. I know sometimes it could take an author longer than that. Sometimes you can never get a name until when it's finally done or something like that. And some people start off with a name right off the back. And that's usually what I've been used to. Start off with a name right off the back. Like after you get the idea, you all of a sudden have a name for it. So it was kind of surprising and daunting, the fact that it took me about 2, almost 3 months to come up with a name. And I released the name back in March. I was thinking of April, but it was March. Back in March. And the title is The Power of Words. And it is a contemporary novel. It has diverse characters. I will say it like that. My main character is African American. My main character is based off of me, because it was the best way I knew how to write the story, was to put me in the story. There's some couple things I tweaked a little bit to, not make it entirely about me. But the character, some of her personality traits, some of the quotes she says, her appearance are based off of me, or at least how I view myself in my head. In my head, when I'm not looking in a mirror or a camera, this is how I view myself in my head. I have told my friends about my book. I haven't talked about it too much. I haven't given them any other details because I want to keep working on it and I don't want to spoil anything, especially if it does get published. I want it to be a surprise. Like, I want the story and the synopsis to be a surprise. But I really want it to be published. I'm trying to think, but my nose is like, you gotta sneeze, and my mind's like, you're not sneezing. I don't know if I'm starting to think I'm getting sick. I want to believe it's my allergies, but I'm starting to think I'm getting sick because my mind's all fuzzy. The only thing I've let my friends read, like a couple of friends, like 3 friends, chase that, 4 friends, read was chapter 1. That is it. I have not let anyone read anything else. Not chapter 2, not chapter 8, not chapter 16, not chapter 25. Yes, I'm writing the book out of order. I don't know why, but the scenes come to me out of order. I've been writing it kind of weirdly, but I'll put them in order, get it organized sooner or later. I've only let them read chapter 1, and all of them so far have said that it's really good, that they're hooked to it. I was like, I hope so. I hope it's good. But, I was, one friend specifically, I asked him to be extremely honest, like, don't lie to me, don't sugarcoat, don't be nice, be extremely honest. And he basically tried to act like an editor. It was like, fix this, fix that, fix this, fix that, which I appreciated. I'm going to have probably not him do it. I mean, he should probably do it, but probably not him, probably someone else. I don't know. I do need someone to look at these chapters, but and of course I'm going to get a professional editor, especially when it gets published, but to kind of like help me, especially if I get stuck. So I'm trying to find that one confidant, my partner in crime, to help me with this, but we will see. I seriously do not want to talk about it so much because I do not want to lose interest. I mean, I am passionate about it, but I know my patterns and I really don't want to lose this book. I really don't. I will say what I'm influenced by, my music library, that kind of helps with the tone of some of the chapters. Personal experiences that I have gone through are in the book. Influences from other writing. Now, that is, I don't like stealing other people's ideas. I don't like stealing people's other people's work or anything like that. If anything, if I quote somebody, I will give them credit. I don't, what's the word? Plagiarize. Thank you. I'm in school. I should know that word by heart by now, but sometimes it takes me a minute. I don't plagiarize, but I will say specific authors, their writing style influences me, like the way they write. I look up to these authors. I admire these authors as far as when it comes to this genre. And my main 2 authors should not surprise anybody, but it's Becky Albertalli and Angie Thomas, because of the humor, the relatableness of their characters and their style of writing, the way they actually use cuss words, because that's how I talk. I use cuss words. So I write sometimes the way I talk, especially for my character. So there's going to be cuss words. So I hate reading other material when I'm writing. I mean, I love to read. I hate reading other material when I'm so focused on a book of mine because I don't want their stuff to flow into my story. But I do like getting inspiration from something or somewhere, especially if I'm stuck at a certain point. Like I was stuck on a chapter for about a week until I picked up The Hate You Give, and it actually gave me a new perspective and a new idea to how to like turn around the chapter and reverse, like go back and change it a little bit so now it has a better flow. And I thank The Hate You Give for that. I thank the thug for that. So I'm not stealing my reading because I still have my reading goal. So I'm trying to not read as many contemporary novels this year because, I mean, enough to where, you know, I'm diverse with it. And, you know, I can still have a contemporary feel because, especially since I'm not really used to writing contemporary so much, it is a new genre. But I think it's a really important book to me, and I look forward to it getting finished, and I really, really want it published. So that's basically what this video was about, just me putting my feelings out there about this book. I know a lot of my friends and some good loyal followers follow this book. Yeah, I'm getting sick. Some good loyal followers follow this YouTube account and my social media, so maybe a book nerdy friend out there might want to be my confidant or something. I don't know. But thank you guys for watching. If you have any ideas or inputs or advice for me, leave a comment down below and follow me on social media. The more I get through this book, the more I'm going to be tweeting updates, like a lot of updates. I'm going to be that person, like, chapter 27, finally done. You know, I'm going to be that person. But thank you guys for watching, and remember to keep calm and keep writing.